Constitutional Court said to hear an urgent application by the Independent Electoral Commission this morning. That's where it's seeking an order to have this year's local government elections deferred. Now, this follows Musaneke's inquiry finding that current COVID-19 conditions are not conducive for free and fair elections. Mbali Thethani is our reporter on the story. She's in studio for us today as we count down a couple of hours until those virtual proceedings begin. Mbali, it's great to see you. I wonder whether there's any issue that's yet to be ventilated, considering how much time we have spent trying to decode what this actually means constitutionally speaking, especially in a context where we know that the Constitution is very clear about how often we should have elections.
And that's quite clear, Ayanda. And today is a big day for the IEC. Of course, they are heading to the Constitutional Court to see if whether it is possible to have those elections, the upcoming local government elections, deferred until, of course, February 2022. And this is a date that has been proposed by Justice Museneke, who carried out that Museneke inquiry. It is an unprecedented time in our country, Ayanda. This is something that has never happened before, where the Commission, the IEC, is asking the Constitutional Court not to abide by the Constitution and have the elections after 5 years, and of course in that time frame as well of that 90 days. Of course, we know that the last elections were held on the 3rd of August in 2016, and so the deadline for the IEC would then be on the 1st of November. So they have to have elections before then. But we know that that date, the October 27, has been proclaimed by the Minister for COCTA, Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, and she has said that elections can go ahead, but at the same time not undermining the process that the IEC has undertaken. You would know that because of COVID-19 and the lockdown restrictions, there really has not been enough, when it comes to political parties, they've not been able to have any gatherings, they've not been able to campaign, and that was something also quite central to the Museneke inquiry. We know that Justice Museneke said that he relied heavily on the evidence from the medical fraternity when it comes to issues around vaccines, COVID-19, when are we going to reach that herd immunity? And from that advice from the medical fraternity and the health department, the likelihood of us reaching herd immunity, Ayanda, would of course then be in February 2022 for now. But it is really a very tricky one to maneuver around constitutionally, where you're asking the ConCourt, can we just be given this break and not abide by the Constitution for now because we are dealing with COVID-19.
In terms of who will be arguing in the ConCourt today, obviously it's the Electoral Commission. Who else will be there?
So you also have submissions by the ANC, you have submissions by the EFF, by the IFP. They're the ones all in support of these elections, of course, being deferred. And, of course, at the same time, we know that the DA, the likes of the DA, AfroForum, they're the ones who are saying that, well, these elections need to go ahead. And we know that the likes of the EFF have in the past, even way before this announcement by the IEC, they've said it on numerous occasions that because of COVID-19 and what it presents in terms of large gatherings and super spreader events, it is unlikely for South Africans to go to the polls in a safe manner. And they then already ventilated this issue, asking, government to, of course, postpone these elections. We know that in the submissions made by the ANC, Michelle, they have also asked, the Constitutional Court to defer these elections to April next year. But at the same time, the IFP has, on the other hand, asked for the elections to be held in May. But we know that Museneke has asked for the elections to be deferred until February 2022. At the same time, when you look at the EFF submissions, they are asking, when the ConCourt considers this, that they should ease the lockdown restrictions and to allow for more than 100 people to gather. And this is because they've said that on numerous occasions that they've not been able to meet as a group and been able to even elect their councillors.
A lot to think about, and we'll be doing all of that with you throughout the course of the morning. Those proceedings set to begin at 9 o'clock virtually today. Mbali Thethani, for now, let's thank you for your time. Mbali Thethani is our reporter live to us here from our Randburg studios as we count down until 9 o'clock when those virtual proceedings in the Constitutional Court are set to begin. The IEC bringing forward its arguments around why it believes this year's elections should be postponed.